Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today we move to chapter 4. We will discuss about structural relations from Carnie's book. So these are what we are going to discuss in this video. We'll talk about dominance, precedence, and sigmen, and also government. And the last one we'll talk about grammatical relation. Okay, so first of all, let's again talk about this. We have discussed this in the previous video. Constituents, and I hope you still remember what constituent is. Constituents are groups of words that function as single units, such as like noun phrase, verb phrase, and so on. And then after we know the constituent, we also discuss about how to test the constituent. Okay, so there are three kind of tests. I hope you can again go back to the previous video. And the constituents can be set into rules. So rules is used to identify the constituents. And then after we know the rules, and then the rules generate the trees. So we discuss about first structure trees, which in turn represent constituency. So from the trees we also see the constituency. Now we are going to discuss about the relations among parts of the tree. Jadi hari ini kita akan membahas bagian hubungan antara bagian-bagian yang ada di pohon. And our discussion will be a bit abstract, but so maybe it's not easy to understand. So pay more careful attention. Ya, jadi mohon diperhatikan dengan lebih teliti karena penjelasan untuk video ini akan lebih abstrak. Okay, first of all, we'll discuss about parts of the tree. So have a look at this tree. So we use this label just like a formula, rumus ya. Jadi ini seperti rumus like M and then divided into N and O. So in the rule we can make M consists of N and O, or we can actually just, for example, M is like tense phrase TP, and then N is NP or noun phrase, and then O is verb phrase. So just like that. Okay, now what you have to know here is that we call each end of the tree as the branch. So M is branch, and okay, there are branches, and then the last one is the branches. So branch is a line connecting two parts of a tree. So I have branches like this one, branches, so all of these are branches. Okay, now we'll talk about node. So these are the nodes. So the nodes is the end of a branch. So M is the end of a branch because it divided into N and O. N and O also node end of this branch. But then N divided again, and these are also nodes. But now we have a label or name of the nodes. Jadi nodes ini ada namanya sendiri. So the node which has no nothing above it, yang tidak ada atasnya, we call it as root node. And the root, even though the root is on the top, if we know plants, the root of course in the bottom. So just imagine that we make it upside down, so the root is like here. Ya, jadi yang paling atas ini kita sebut sebagai root nodes. And root node can also be called as non-terminal nodes. Jadi nodes yang masih terbagi lagi itu kita sebut sebagai non-terminal nodes. Nah, nodes yang tidak terbagi lagi is called as terminal nodes. Terminal in bahasa Indonesia we know is a bus station, So where the bus stop. Okay, so these are terminal nodes, non-terminal nodes, and root nodes. Okay, now let's talk about domination. Okay, so domination is about the relationship between a label in the tree and other labels. Jadi hubungan antara satu dengan yang lain dalam sebuah pohon. Okay, let's have a look at these rules. This pattern, Node A dominates node B if and only if A is higher up in the tree than B, and if you can trace a line from A to B going only downwards. Jadi A itu disebut mendominasi B jika A itu berada di cabang yang lebih tinggi daripada B, dan ada a line, ya, ada ada cabang yang menghubungkan antara A dan B ke bawah. Okay, so like this one, M dominates N, O, D, E, F, H, I, J, because M is higher than N, for example. Okay, so if we'll have a look at this bracketed diagram, diagram yang menggunakan kurung, ya. Misalnya di sini kita lihat M dominate all here. Jadi kita lihat dominasinya seperti ini, ya. So this is what we call as domination. And we also find this term exhaustive domination. Okay, what is exhaustive domination? Exhaustive domination is like this tree, for example, dalam pohon ini A dominates B, C, D, E. It means that A dominates all of them. We call it as exhaustive domination. And from this definition, we have another pattern. So constituent, constituent itu juga bisa disebut sebagai rumus a set of terminal nodes exhaustively dominated by a particular nodes. Ya, jadi di sini kita sebut rumus dari keseluruhan ini adalah constituent. Jadi antara A dengan apa yang didominasinya itu adalah satu constituent. And we can also say constituent of. Here, B is constituent of A if and only if A dominates B. Jadi di sini B disebut constituent of A karena atau jika A itu mendominasi B. Just like that. Dan semuanya ini kita sebut sebagai constituent. Ya. Yeah. B constituent of A. B, C, D, E is a constituent of A. Okay. Now have a look at immediate domination. Okay, immediate domination is node A immediately dominates node B if there is no intervening node G that is dominated by A but dominates B. In other words, A is the first node that dominates B. So here we have M immediately dominate N. M do not immediately dominate D because it has N here. Ya, jadi M itu immediately dominate N karena secara langsung. Tapi M tidak immediately dominate D karena dihalangi oleh N. So this is what we call as immediate domination. Okay, so from this the rule of immediate domination, di sini kita mengenal namanya istilah mother. Ya, mother. A is the mother of B if A immediately dominates B. Jadi A itu disebut mother-nya B jika dia secara langsung dominate B. And B is the daughter of A if B is immediately dominated by A. Yeah. So B is called as daughter of A if B is immediately dominated by A. Jadi B itu disebut sebagai daughter, anak dari B is called as daughter. B disebut sebagai anaknya A jika B didominasi secara langsung oleh A. And the last one we have sisters. So two nodes that share the same mother. Jadi B, C, D, G, they all called as sisters because they have the same mother. Nah, jadi ada istilah-istilah seperti ini, ya. Okay. Next, we talk about precedence. What is precedence? It's about what is said first. Jadi apa yang muncul pertama itu adalah kita dalam pembahasan precedence. Like this rule, M consists of A and B. So here, A precedes B. So just like this one. Node A precedes node B if and only if neither A dominates B nor B dominates A. And A or something node dominating A sister precedes B or some node dominating B. Jadi di sini kita sebut A precedes B jika A dan B itu tidak saling mendominasi atau mereka sejajar, sisters. Okay, and we call like this one, node A sister precedes node B if and only if both are immediately dominated by the same node. Jadi node A itu disebut sebagai sister precedes node B jika keduanya didominasi oleh the same node. And A appears the left of B, dan A itu berada di sebelah kirinya B. Okay. So A first and then B. So we cannot draw this tree. Jadi pohon tidak bisa dibuat seperti ini. So it must always related to the precedence. Jadi harus ada yang di awal, ada yang muncul berikutnya. Just like this one, kiss. It should be right here in the middle. So we can't make this tree. So the tree always going down to the right. Jadi terus ke sebelah kanan ya. Jika dilanjutkan. Jadi tidak bisa crossing just like this. Okay, now let's talk about sigmen. Nah, ini adalah hal yang penting sekali untuk diperhatikan. What is sigmen? Nah, sigmen itu tidak bisa didefinisikan ya. But you need to understand how to identify sigmen. Okay, have a look at this one. This tree. So sigmen, node A, sigmens node B, if every node dominating A also dominates B, and neither A nor B dominates the other. Jadi node A itu disebut sigmens node B jika node dominating A, jadi node yang mendominasi A di atasnya A itu juga berada di atasnya B. Kemudian A and B do not dominate each other. Jadi A dan B ini tidak saling mendominasi alias mereka sejajar. Ya, or in other words, dengan kata lain, A sigmens B and its daughters and also grandchilds and so on. Jadi A itu mensigmen saudaranya beserta anak cucunya. Okay, so have to remember this. So, jadi A di sini mensigmen saudaranya beserta anak cucu dari saudaranya. So, for example, like this one, C and D. So, C sigmens D, G, H, and D only sigmen. Okay. D also sigmens C, E, F, I, G. So just like that. Yeah. But here G only sigment H because there is no other daughters or other children right here. Seperti itu ya. Okay, have a look at this one. Ya, seperti penjelasan saya tadi, G only sigment H, not segmenting C, E, F, I, G, because sigmen is a relation that holds among sisters and among aunts and their nieces and descendant of their nieces. It never holds between cousins or between a mother and daughter. Jadi di sini dikatakan bahwa sigmen itu adalah hubungan antara sisters, saudara, atau dengan bibi beserta keponakannya dan ke bawah. Jadi seperti saya katakan tadi, A sigmen B dan semua yang berada di bawahnya B, C sigmen D dan semua yang berada di bawahnya D. Jadi seperti itu yang kita sebut sebagai sigmen. Okay, kemudian we also have a symmetric sigmen and asymmetric sigmen. Yeah. So what is symmetric sigmen? Symmetric sigmen is, for example, A symmetrically sigmens B if A sigmens B and B sigmens A. Jadi jika saling sigmen itu disebut sebagai symmetric. Jadi A disebut sigmens B jika A sigmens B dan B juga sigmens A. Jadi jika mereka bisa saling sigmens disebut sebagai symmetric sigmens. Ada lagi asymmetric sigmens. A asymmetrically sigmens B if A sigmens B but B does not sigmens A. Ya, misalnya di sini A asymmetrically C. If A sigmens C, but C does not sigmens A. Jadi di sini hubungan A dengan C itu adalah asymmetric sigmen. Karena A itu sigmens C, karena dia adalah keponakannya, tapi C tidak bisa sigmens A. C di sini tidak bisa sigmens C karena C tidak bisa sigmens A karena A itu adalah BB-nya. Jadi BB bisa sigmens keponakan, tapi keponakan tidak bisa sigmens BB. Okay, so this is symmetric and asymmetric. What does it mean? Ini maksudnya bagaimana? So we will know this later in the next discussions, secara lebih konkretnya. Now we have also government. Okay, what is government? So let's have a look at the tree here. So node A governs node B if A sigmens B and there is no node G such that G is segmented by A and G are symmetrically segments B. Jadi di sini dikatakan A governs B if A segment B and there is no G like this one. So in this case, A cannot segment B because it has G. Not segment. A cannot govern B. Maaf, di sini adalah A tidak bisa governs B karena ada G. Walaupun di sini A adalah segments B juga ya, dalam istilah segments tadi, karena A segments O beserta ke bawah. Tapi dalam government, ketika ada intervensi, maka dia tidak bisa disebut governing. Jadi di sini A governs B. Tapi di sini A tidak bisa governs B karena ada penghalang G. Seperti itu. This is what we call as governing. Nah, government itu ada dua juga, ada phrase government, ada head government. So like this one, kita lihat di sini AP itu masih bisa governs di sini ya. AB, kita membahas AB ini adalah phrase ya, ada phrase. Kemudian kita menghubungkan antara AP governs B here. Apakah bisa? Kita anggap bisa karena di sini walaupun ada penghalangnya yaitu M dengan G, tapi karena penghalangnya adalah berupa head, maka tidak bisa disebut sebagai interveners ya. Jadi tetap AP governs B. Or AP phrase governs B. Jadi the phrase governs. Yeah. So if A is a phrase, then G must also be a phrase. Ya, yeah, node-nya di situ. Kemudian di sini kita lihat ada A. Di sini apakah dia governs B secara head? Karena di sini A itu adalah head, kemudian B juga head. Maka di sini ada MP dan GP do not count as interveners karena mereka bukan head. Jadi untuk head governments itu antara head dengan head, maka phrase tidak menghalangi. Untuk phrase government antara phrase dengan phrase, okay, here, maka untuk head tidak bisa menjadi interveners. Okay, so this is what we call as a government. Okay, and the last one, grammatical relations. It's about the relationship if we talk about subject and object. Jadi di sini yang pertama, subject is noun phrase or complementizer phrase, daughter of TP. Jadi di sini noun phrase daughter of TP is the subject. Now when we talk about direct object here, direct object here is noun phrase daughter of VP. And there are some kinds of VP. Yeah, VP can be verb followed by NP and NP, like this one, verb NP NP, or verb NP and CP. No example here. Or verb NP PP, just like this one. Yeah. And so here, let's give peanuts to Paula. So peanut is the direct object. Now the other example, is about indirect object. Let's give Paula peanuts. So indirect object is can be prepositional phrase daughter of VP immediately preceded by an NP, or NP daughter of VP immediately preceded by V. Yeah. If you look at this example, di sini kita lihat. Jadi indirect object is direct object immediately preceded by VP, V. Jadi NP setelah langsung yang terletak langsung setelah V, atau dia adalah the first noun phrase daughter of VP. Jadi anak NP pertama yang menjadi anaknya VP jika dia ada NP yang lebih dari satu. Yeah. So if we look at these two examples, let's give peanuts to Paula. Let's give Paula peanuts. They have the same meaning. But for the first one, we have a prepositional phrase as indirect object. But the second one, we have noun phrase as indirect object. And we see that if a indirect object in the form of prepositional phrase, it comes after noun phrase as direct object. And if indirect object comes first as a noun phrase, then the direct object is noun phrase comes after the indirect object. Okay, I think we have discussed about direct and indirect object in the previous materials. So that's all that I can say for today. Thank you so much. Hopefully this can help you, and we'll continue to have class discussions. And Alhamdulillah, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.